This is Jasmine Harris with a tutorial on how to create a quiz on Microsoft Forms. So you've already logged in and you're looking at this screen. So what you want to do is click New Quiz. And then when you get to this screen, you want to title your quiz. So my first Microsoft quiz. And then you want to, of course, add your questions. So Microsoft Forms offers 6 question types. You can do choice, which is the same as A, B, C, D. You can do text, where you want them to do a short answer or a longer answer. You can have them rate from best to worst, or first, second, third. You can have them put a date in. You can have them maneuver different answer choices that you've given them to decide which one would happen first, second, third, or fourth. And a liker. A liker means that you put a statement and then they have to pick an option to go with it. So I'm going to do a choice and I'm going to try a math question. What is 6 plus 2? Now, if you go down here, you can do this math question. 6 plus 2. And of course, it's going to provide you, this is what the answer should be. You technically don't need this part, but you can use it. Then you can put some answers. You can say 6 plus 2 is 9. Sorry, 6 plus 2 is 9. And you can click OK. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 plus 2 is 6. And 6 plus 2 is 7. And as you see, every time I want to add another answer choice, I just click Add Option. I type the answer and I click OK. Then you need to decide, how many points do you want this question to be worth? Maybe you're doing a 10-question quiz, so you want each question to be worth 2 points. If you had multiple answers that they could give, then you would click Multiple Answers. You can also make the question require it, or it doesn't have to be required, but of course for a quiz, you would want the question to be required. Then you have to, because it's a math question, it already knows the answer. Then you can go to the next question. And maybe I have a question and I want them to answer in a short answer, and maybe it's not math. So maybe, why is it important to subtract the bigger number from the smaller number? And in 2nd grade, they need to know that. And so they set up their problems right. You don't have to have that. You can take off anything you want. And you can add different answer choices that could be correct, because if you have children that are younger, they might not know how to spell a certain thing, so you might want to, do some variations in spelling. This is one of the questions that you're going to want to check to make sure they really got it wrong or right, because they could have spelled something wrong but still got it correct. So you could say, because you always need to subtract a bigger number. Or you could say, because you cannot take a smaller number away from a bigger number. And if you wanted to add another answer, you could. And then once you're done making your quiz, then you go to your settings. Maybe you want a theme. And Microsoft provides you with some themes. You can always click this and upload an image from Bing, or you can upload an image from your computer. I like the surf border. Then you go to the three dots and you can pick branching questions. So say you have about a lot of different questions, and maybe after they're done with this question, I want them to go to number 2. But then if they pick 8, I want them to go to question number 3. But if they pick 9, I want them to go back to question number 1 and read that again. So then they have some branching, like, kind of if you get this one, it's tracking you on to a different question. Then you can change your settings. So you can decide, do you want to show the results automatically? In the classroom, I would not recommend this because it does show the correct answers after they submit the quiz, so I would turn that off. And then you can decide only people in your organization or anyone that has the link can respond. So maybe you're going somewhere outside of your organization and you want to give a quiz, then you would need to change it. But for this one, when you have this, it records their name. If you do the anyone with link, I would add a question of what is your name. Then you have to make sure that the accept responses is clicked, because if it's not, nobody can take your quiz. If you want your quiz to only stay on, able to take within a certain date range, you can put dates. There is an option in shuffle questions sometimes where you can make sure that everybody gets a different question, so they aren't able to cheat. And there is a Windows Take a Test app. If your computer has that on there, then they can use that as well. Then you can share. If you're collaborating and you're making a quiz for your grade level, you can click this to duplicate the template, and when you send it to your colleagues, they will get a template to use on their own. That way, when people respond, you're not getting all of the responses, just they will get the responses for their group. Here's another place where you can change who can respond, and you have options. You can get a link, which if you're going to post it somewhere where you can just click it, this is fine. If you want to post this to something, I would change it into a bit.ly. You also have a QR code, and we have iPads, so kids can just go and take a picture of the QR code and go straight to the form. You can embed this into a web page also. And then you can also send an email. When you click that one, it'll open your email, so you get to make that decision. And that is how you create a Microsoft quiz using forms.